Hello, beautiful people. It's Rooney from the Nonprofit School once again, where we help new founders start up their nonprofits, find startup funding, and scale their nonprofit organization. Today, I'll be answering a very important question. How long does it take to get the 501c3 status for your new nonprofit? Well, if you've been joining us before now, you know we've always been heavy on, how to start up your nonprofit the right way, getting the process right. So today we're going to be talking about how long it's going to take you to get your 501c3 or tax exemption status so as to, become a credible organization, raise money successfully without the back and forth. Well, there are two ways to answer this question. The very first is at the point where you need to get your 501c3 status. If you are at that point, it means you've done all the work from business planning, board recruitment, strategic planning, developing the tools and resources you need to incorporate, and you've even incorporated within your state, filed for your EIN, and you're now at the place where you have to file for your 501c3. So if you've done all that and you're at that point, what I'll say is getting your 501c3 status. We've actually gotten feedback on that, around 30 to 60 days. So we did one lately where it came out in 30 days, and we even did the long form, the 1023 easy form. That was, normally we've seen situations where that run as far as 90 days, 3 months, right? Sometimes even more. But the one we did recently, we got that back in 30 days because that was done very well. We made sure we did all our homework. Strategic planning was right, the budget was right, financial statements was right, the bylaws, everything was already in place. It was a very straightforward process, and we handled that process ourselves, helping the clients through the process. But the second way is if you're yet to even get your organization, you're yet to do your business planning, you're yet to do board recruitment. So it means you're going to have to do all these before you get to the 501c3 application point. And if we're looking at that timeline, it means you have to consider the timeline is going to take you to, to draw up your business plan. This usually takes a day. Some people go as much as a week. Mark said, if you want to do something and you put it in, to do it in 3 hours, it's going to take you 3 hours. If it's put it forward, say 30 days, it's going to take you 30 days. So business planning is really how eager you're, willing to go and accomplish that. So if you're one who is eager, in 30 days, you could get that done. Then off to the board recruitment piece. This usually takes some time, but if you know the process, you know how to go about it. In 1 month, you should have quality board members, professionals, people who can support you to achieve your vision, right? Though we've seen people who go for family and friends, so it means in the next day you could reach out to your family and friends and they could be like, I'm on board, and then you passed that process. But we'd always advise find quality people to join your board. Find people who are passionate about the mission, who are passionate about what you do, right? To join your board. This is the best way for you to be successful. So usually this could take as much as a month because you're going to have to reach out to people out there, most likely people who do not know you, people who probably know you, right? You're going to have to reach out to them, get them to apply, get them to come into an interview where you're asking them the right questions, and then accepting them, running a background check, you know, before onboarding them and integrating them into your organization. So that process, if you're having a professional help you through the process, if for example, will help you through that process, max in a month you should be done. But as a new founder who is inexperienced, you may end up taking so much time and not getting the best of the process. But again, that process is valid, so it means that's another 30 days if you're looking at it from that perspective. And then you're going to have to go ahead to plan with your new board members. This is what we call strategic planning. You all are going to plan the future of the organization, what you're going to be doing, how do you intend to run the organization, the people you need, all that has to be planned out, the budget, your fundraising strategies, marketing strategies, all these have to be planned out. And this is done during the strategic planning phase. So, of course, if you bring professionals in like us, we could get that done for you in a week, in some couple of days, if your body is ready to go immediately, right? But if you're doing that all by yourself, you are most likely still get it done in a day because you may not really understand the process and just rush through the planning. But again, you may not get the best of the process. But if you're going to get the best of the process, we'll say a week, because that planning session has to go with some research, reaching out to the community, getting feedback, and then you are planning together. Because we believe that the more people who are involved in the planning process, the more results you're most likely going to create. So that's still another 1 week. So let's say 1 week for business planning, 1 month for board recruitment, another 1 week for strategic planning. That puts you on, 6 weeks, right? So next, of course, you want to create the tools, the materials you need for your incorporation within the state, and to file for your 501c3. So you're going to most likely going to need your bylaws, your financial management statements, your conflict of interest statements, So these things may take you, say, a week to create if you're doing it all by yourself. But of course, if the professional is helping you, like myself, we will get that for you in a day, right? So that you can then go ahead to incorporate your organization within your state. Incorporation within the states usually takes a week, 2 weeks max, because we've seen different states from Florida to California to Michigan to Detroit to Tennessee. So we've seen that this could be done in a week or two if you go through the process the right way, you know what you're filling up, right? And then going to apply for your EIN, that's a day or a couple of hours, because of course it's a straightforward application and it's free. And once you have your incorporation, you have your EIN, that's when you can then go file for your 501c3. So like I said earlier, if you're getting to the 501c3 stage, which is where we are now, it's going to take like another 30 days. So incorporation within your state, 2 weeks, creating the resources you need, 1 week, that's putting you at 9 weeks already. And then you're going to file for your 501c3. That's going to take you a month if you know exactly how to file, right? So that puts you at 13 weeks. So that's 13 weeks to get your 501c3. And I always tell clients we work with, non-profit founders we work with, if you have your incorporation, you don't have to wait for your 501c3 approval before you start building your website, developing your brand, and the resources and tools you need to execute. Because once you've incorporated, it means your name is now laid in stone. You can use that to buy a domain. You can use that to create social media handles, develop your logo, your marketing materials, all that's going to help you set up your organization and begin to execute. So it means the period you're waiting for your 501c3 approval, you could use that to begin building the brand, developing your logo, your marketing materials, picking your colors, the website, and all that has to go into executing. So you see that within the 30 days, you could also do something. So let's still keep it at 13 weeks. So within 13 weeks, your brand is up, your 501c3 approval is up, it's going to come up, and then you're going to have for as long as possible to start executing. Once you have a 501c3, all you have to go is either go straight to executing your programs if you have the resources, or go straight into trying to raise money if that's a priority at the moment, or basically just trying to build your organization, finding the right people, making sure you have the right structure before you even go out there to start executing. So as you can see, we're looking at the timeline of between 13 to 15 weeks if you are starting afresh, like from the scratch. And for you to be able to meet up with this timeline of 13 to 15 weeks, you're most likely going to need to understand the process. Because if you bring a professional, of course, you're going to meet up the 13 to 15 weeks, or maybe even lesser, maybe 10 weeks. But that's going to cost you thousands of dollars, right? But as one who's trying to start up with your resources and trying to make the best of your resources, it's best you understand the process yourself, and then you can now, go on to follow this timeline, and you're going to achieve it, because it's all about understanding what has to be done, understanding the process, and doing it accordingly. And that's why we've put together the non-profit starter pack to guide you through each step of the process. From business planning, we're going to provide you templates so that you get that done in a day. To board recruitment, we're going to guide you through the process that you're doing that, you're getting that done even in less than a month. For strategic planning, we're going to provide you templates and the process so that you're getting that done in a week max. For incorporation and the tools and resources you need to incorporate and file for your 501c3, you're going to have all that available to you so that you can easily create yours, and then you can go ahead to go apply. For the incorporation form, we're going to show you, explain the different parts of the form so that you know exactly how to fill them. For your 501c3 1023 form or 1023 easy form, we're going to explain each part of the form so that you know exactly what to fill in and how to fill them. And then, of course, guiding you to develop the tools and infrastructure you need before going on to execute, especially raising money, because we always advise start by raising money, because that's how you're going to build the sustainability of your organization and the impact you're trying to achieve. So with the nonprofit starter pack, you can get through all this process all by yourself with the right timeline, and you get it right once and for all, unlike where you're just trying to get through the process, thereby elongating the time you need to get this started. And the interesting thing about the starter pack is you can do this at your own pace. So if you're saying you don't want to rush through, you don't want to go the 13 to 15 weeks note, you want to go as much as 25 weeks, 30 weeks, all you have to do is follow the instruction one step at a time, right? And then you're going to get to the point where your organization is established, incorporated, you have a tax exemption status, and you're creating impact. So like Elon Musk said, if you want to do something, get something done in 3 days, you could. If you give yourself 30 days, if you could. If you give yourself a year, still you could. It all depends on the timeline you give to yourself. So that's what we have for you today. We're going to come on here next time to talk more on how to get your organization up and running. Reach out to us if you need any help. Go to nonprofitschool.com, nonprofit-school.com, to get your nonprofit starter pack for a giveaway prize. All right. So until I see you again, it's bye for today.